Call Sir William Seal.
Mr. Chairman, I asked the Minister earlier whether he would clarify to this House whether it was he or Minister Paula Bennett that was reported in the media as advocating for freeing up of the industry again. And I think the terminology in one of the reports was that the industry would self-regulate, that the industry would certify their own work. And I said to the Minister then, and I say it again, that isn't that the problem, isn't that the reason why we're in this problem? The Minister answered and said that, referred us, that it was the Labour Party that put a bill through here in 1989. But I want to refer to the Minister to the words of the Honourable Maurice Williamson, who in this House said and claimed responsibility that it was he and his government that passed legislation deregularising the industry, which has subsequently led to the situation that we now have. I want to say that, you know, I take on board what the Honourable David Cunliffe said. Look, this isn't about blaming who. Let's just take responsibility for where we are. But I did ask the question earlier whether it's his intent or the intent of Minister Paula Bennett to again lead this industry to a situation of more deregulation. Because I would caution the Minister and say, look, isn't that why we're in this situation? We've got this Weathertight Homes and Resolution Services Amendment Bill, which is a mouthful, and most people won't know what this is about. You know, it should have been the leaky homes solution, because that's what we're trying to identify here, is a solution to help those people whose homes were leaky as a result of shoddy building, of the use of untreated timber during the period of the 1990s. And if my memory serves me right, that was again during the Jim Bolger period. But I want to say, sir, that I don't understand why it's taken so long, why it's taken this long from when the bill was first introduced to this House. And I'm not sure, sir, whether the amendment date or the starting date is going to serve the interest of those people whose issues that we're trying to deal here tonight. So the greater issue here is that most people, as a result of the leaky home syndrome, don't feel confident about the building industry. In fact, I think most people are asking their neighbours if they know a builder who they can trust and have confidence in before they embark on building work. And so this is what has happened as a result of a minister or a government who was so set on a freer industry or deregulating the industry that they didn't care what took place. And when they didn't care what took place, they actually were saying they didn't care what happened to ordinary Kiwis. And now we're having to foot the bill for the result of that. But this is another example, Mr. Chairman, of how this government attempts to pride itself as the masters of our economy and promotes the fact that deregulation is good. Once upon a time, Mr. Speaker, this country was hailed worldwide for having a mixed economy where business can operate within the regulations set by government. And time again, we have had politicians or members of government step forward and say that freeing up industry was good. But here you have an example where greater freedom to an industry actually meant that they were looking at cutting costs without any concern with the subsequent consequences of shoddy work and the use of untreated timber, and that's why we're here. So we're told that there's a small number of people that are going to be resolved through this particular bill, about 70 homes, I understand. But the Crenshaw and Co. identified that there were 42,000 homes affected as a result of the leaky homes syndrome. And they say also that that's about 80,000 New Zealanders. Sir, I don't know, Mr. Speaker, Mr.
Sir
Chairman,
William Seal.
I don't know whether this bill addresses the 42,000 homes affected, but I am hopeful, sir, that if we are genuinely concerned and wanting to make sure that we resolve the issues raised by these people, that we then have this government consider seriously the consequences of the actions before they embark on another deregulation exercise which they believe is good for the economy, when all we've seen and all that New Zealanders, these 80,000 New Zealanders have experienced, that deregulation has not in fact helped them out. So thank you for that opportunity.
The Honourable